Recording. Good morning, team. Welcome to this webcast today. This will be a little bit different than our previous ones. I'm going to share screen with you right now so you can see what I'm doing. Now, some of this stuff in the very beginning, guys, I just want to make sure that you realize all that's available to you here on Aflac.com. So there's so much information on here that if you don't break it out into subcategories, you could be in here for days. So I really want you to understand, if you really want to know the benefits of Everwell, obviously click the Everwell tab. But you know, there's news and information, so a lot of things in the updates are updated on a weekly basis or like the monthly release. You just click here and it'll take you to their latest release that they've done on the Everwell server. So you can, like, people are asking me, hey, when are they going to have directs available? So this May update, and then they'll have a June update here shortly. So product enhancements, you can see that they had specific states. So when it says KY, that's going to be Kentucky only. Maryland would be MD. So you just kind of look through that a little bit and make sure that you're getting all the Arizona updates. Value-added services, or Health Advocate is now updated to 43 states. Aflac Pass powered by Kerrigan. That's HQ funded for 1 year. It helps out with discounts as well as vision, dental, and hearing service discounts, 8 states. There's all kinds of different things in here that you just, VSP, individual product, standard plan, description now indicates available. Obviously, you don't see Arizona in there. But you want to stay up to date on this information because as it changes for Arizona, you want to update your accounts. And also the tools that are going to be coming available. Payroll is going to be out sometime at the end of this year, where we're actually going to be able to do payroll services for accounts. Could be end of this year, early next year. So definitely look for that information. Let me just go back a step here. Reporting and things like that. You guys, there's statements and stuff in here for you and things like that. Product and services. So product by category, this is an area where I get a lot of information from, and the reason is because it gives you kind of a high-level overview of the plan itself, and then it also tells you about some of our previous plan, like the personal accident indemnity, the PIA plan. That's a really old plan, but let's say you have a customer that says, hey, I have a old accident plan. You might be able to find that information right here under products by category. But what's really cool is like our accident advantage. That's our newest series, and here's how you know it. It says A3600. So when it's a lower number, that means it's an older plan. So when I click on that, what it does is it gives me a nice at a glance high-level overview of the benefits that are available in here, the why about the product, key features, but also there's things like quick links, welcome letters, tip sheets, quick reference guides. Now, I don't want to go deep into this today, but I want you to know where to find the information. So what I want to do is restructure the way we do our webcast to where I want to provide you some training going forward, and not just training on sales training and activity-based training, but also in-depth knowledge on our products and services. So I'm going to split. There'll be an hour long on the Friday webcast from 8 to 9, and I'm going to do 30 minutes of specific product study. So you'll have an assignment. Okay, next week will be the accident plan. So you're going to need to do the Accident Aflac Academy course. Now I'm going to do it myself in building the training. So I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. Reputation is how you learn. So I want to make sure that you guys redo that certification again, because that's going to give you the nuts and bolts. And then I'm going to teach you go-to-market strategies, how to sell it. Okay. So that'll be at least 30 minutes, and then also building your business and focusing in on how to increase your personal revenue and how to really run your business. I want to be 30 minutes of that and 30 minutes of product training moving forward. So you'll have assignments prior to taking the class. The people that go, and I'm going to ask that everybody do this, the people that go through the entire certification at the end, I want to make it a big deal and make it kind of like a graduation. So you've gone through all of the product trainings, and then at the end, and hopefully they still have the graduation duck available. I want to get a graduation duck together and a special little prize for you. Just kind of like earning a badge. You know, I've completed my certification. Well, here's the thing. I remember Jack Frine when I was in Havasu, and I did this as a district, and Jack would come to every single product training, and I'm telling you, he probably knows more about products than most people in our state, right? So the guy said to me, he goes, Eric, every time I come in, I get some little nugget that helps my business. That little nugget makes a big difference in my overall operation. So if Jack is willing to do it, being 13 years in Aflac, you know, my recommendation that you attend to. Repetition helps with memories, you know, to where you can memorize it. Products and services as well. Products by state. So if you're looking at working with accounts that have multiple offices throughout the U.S., the Aflac made this so easy for you. So if you're dealing with a company that says, hey, I've got locations here in Arizona, Colorado, in the Four Corners market, so you know, not California, but Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. I can name all the states without them. That's pretty good. Listen, we're not going to go into that. So, but the cool thing is like if I want to see what's available in New Mexico, it automatically, if I just hit that state, it's going to pull up all the available individual products here, as well as the group products that are available. Now, group products are for 100 or more lives. Individual products are for under 100 lives, but there's many cases that we have large groups, think places like Kirkland's, that I think Kirkland still does individual. So you want to be aware of what's being offered in the state that you're going into to supply those benefits. Now, the difference between these two products, very important to know, is that group products it's considered a site estate. So when we start the group here in Arizona and their headquarters are here in Arizona, and we start the account up and it's group products, it's a different animal than individual. Group, the business has the certificate or the policy, and then the individuals that work there get certificates of coverage, kind of like health insurance, okay? So when it's a site estate situation on group, that means if we sign them up here in Arizona, the headquarters, then any products that are authorized here in Arizona are able to be sold into the other states, even though they're Arizona policies. So it goes back to the initial, they call it site estate. When it's individual products and you're doing multiple location accounts, you need to make sure that those products are available in those other accounts when you're having that discussion with the decision maker, because it's in that case, it's where the policyholder is standing is what policy that you need to sign them up for. So if they're standing in New Mexico, they need to be sign up for a New Mexico policy. So I had an associate tell me once, he was with Aflac for about 20 years, and he says, here, I got a little tip for you. So we live around a lot of states right here, and I go, yep, we sure do. And he goes, you know what you do? You fill up the bed of your truck with dirt, Arizona dirt, and you just travel around and get the people standing in the back because you can sign them up for Arizona policies that way. That's a joke. Oh my God. It's a joke. Don't do that. Okay, that's fraud. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. But I'm wanting to make a point. It's wherever they're standing is what policy you sign them up for, even if it's in the back of a pickup truck. Okay, so just make sure that you do that. Now, the other thing in products and services I want to just cover with you really quick is our product videos. Now, you're going into accounts and you go in and you present the day before, that evening or that afternoon, and then you're going back the next day to do the enrollment, or you do the first day presentation and you're doing your enrollment that day, and there's people that say, hey, I want to think about this, I want to talk to my family about it. So what do? I mean, do you just hope? You send them home with a brochure and hope that they talk to their spouse about it? I can tell you as an associate, there were more times than none that I'd come back the next day and they would say, I forgot. You know, I got home, my kid was sick, and I forgot to talk about it. So here's a way that you can make sure that they talk to their spouse. It's another kind of reminder. So here's how you set up a product video campaign. You click Arizona, you select the product. Now group is over 100 lives. Individual is under 100 lives. Okay, so make sure you know the difference in what you're offering. And then what you do is you click the policy. Now, how I did this is I did the presentation. I hand out benefit questionnaires. On my benefit questionnaire, I have their email address and their telephone number. Okay, I'm not going to call them at night, but I'm going to send them the email. Now, when they go, hey, this is what I'm interested in, so you give them the brochures, but I want to talk to my spouse about it, I just click the policies, and this is how easy it is. Build video, click build video, and then you've just built the video. That quick, Aflac has built a video for you specifically tailored to that product. Now, you can email it to the customer directly from here, but let's say that you're going, let's think, how do we, I care about your productivity. I don't want you messing around all night going back and forth. So what I would do is copy to clipboard and just set up a little notes tab, whether it be Word or whether it be your notes section on your Mac, and then just copy and paste that accident plan over in your notes section, and then build a cancer video, then build a critical care and recovery video, then build, so you build all the videos to the policies you're offering into that account, and then you open up your email inbox or your email, to send out. You put the customer's email in there, and then just copy and paste those URLs and say, just type a message saying, hey, here's what we talked about today. Here's a video you can watch with your spouse. Like, I'm telling you, this is a big deal, because if they sit there and they get an email, oh, honey, that's right. We had Aflac in there today, and I was looking at the cancer and the accident policy. You got a couple minutes, and she could pull it right up on her phone, right, and show it to her husband. So, or vice versa. This is really cool, and make sure you're doing it each and every time. If you do it in every single account that somebody's got to think about something, and you pick up 1 or 2 extra policy holders, that could be a $20,000 increase in your income in a year. All right, if you just pick up 2 more people, actually 2 more people signed up a week would be about $15,000 in income in a year. That's how insane this is. So, in a good way. Now, the other thing is training and resources. Now, notice here when I pick up the tab and I go like this, it seems like I have more options here than I do when I actually click on it. So make sure that when you pull your cursor over, look at the headers and look at the stuff in here before you actually click on that tab. So there is a cool thing in here that's called the site seller. So I was thinking of Mary, believe it or not. I don't know why Mary popped in my mind, but she sent me an email yesterday. But this seems like a good style for Mary, that if she had her computer with her, I could see her sitting down with an employer and kind of looking to the side and going, hey, this is what we offer, just because it kind of makes some people, including me, feel more comfortable. So how do you do this? Number one, you pull open this site seller section under training and resources, and then if I'm going to an employer, I'm going to click learn more, right? And then check this out. I can build a PowerPoint in Spanish or in English. Isn't that cool? And I can do it in Keynote too. So for this purpose, I'm going to build it like in PowerPoint so you can see what that looks like.
That is way cool.
And I knew Mary would like that. So Actually, I already built one, so let me get this out so we don't lose internet signal. So what's really neat is you can customize this, and you can remove and edit slides, or not edit slides, excuse me. But it gives you the instruction on how to build this. And then look at this. Look at how nice that looks. Like, first of all, Aflac, just so you know, the color blue that we do is very welcoming and warm, and it's not offensive. There's a reason why we picked this color. So you're having the top level marketing people in the entire US build this for you, and you get to customize it to what you're wanting to show your policyholders. So it shows you we're #1 in voluntary insurance at work sites in the US, over 50 million people worldwide. You can actually customize, look at this, a specific slide for our state only, showing that we have 465,000 payroll accounts in the US and about 7,000 payroll accounts here in Arizona, which is, to me, we only have 4% signed up. It just drives me crazy. But it shows you some basic stuff, and I'm just going to flip through some of these slides. Let's talk about how your business. Let's talk about your business. How can we help you? And then it gives them some brief overviews of major medical doesn't cut it. Workers are financially unprepared, and it gives you some great statistics. Now, I wouldn't recommend showing them everything. When you look at the business owner and you kind of figure out the industry and kind of where they're coming from, you get a feel. Then what I do is I would come back and customize this. You want to tailor it to the person as well as the business, not just blanket cover them and say, hey, I hope I can throw a bunch of information and something sticks. That's nuts. You gotta be more strategic than that. So we set up payroll deductions, make it easy. I'm just flipping through this. And then it'll stop you and say, hey, listen, employer presentation slide, managing objections. It actually builds it into your presentation. That's insane. And some of us don't even know this is available. And so what I'm going to start doing is, and I'll tell you where this comes from. Scott, we had a conference call. Dave and I had a conference call with Scott, and Scott goes, do you know about this report? And I go, no, I've never heard of it before. And Scott goes, are you kidding me? And I go, no, man. And then there was somebody that's on our team that's been with Aflac and worked at worldwide headquarters and didn't know that a specific report existed. And so he goes, this is crazy. And so he said, you know what? I'm not going to assume that you guys know anything. And I said, geez, thanks, Scott. And he goes, no, I'm not saying that. I'm going to cover some basic stuff with you because, man, I feel responsible for that. So I'm taking that mantra that Scott gave me, and I'm going to, and I know Dave is the same way. We're going to show you basic stuff that maybe we're not covering with you guys. And I'm sorry if I didn't show you this before, but that is going to stop. Now we're going to learn some basic principled stuff that really can impact your business. I'm not going to assume people know things, and that's my fault, not yours. And you deserve a leader that is showing you basic things that can help your business. So communication of HR benefits is a critical issue for HR professionals. So if you're sitting down with a human resource professional, 85% agreed that one of their biggest challenges is getting employees to understand their benefits. That's her problem or his problem, right? So you can address that and say, listen, I'm a licensed insurance professional. I can study your health plan offerings, and actually from a licensed insurance agent perspective, I would like to communicate both your health insurance and your voluntary benefits if you want me to. If I can help you out with that, I'd love to. And that way you have an unbiased person just telling about their health insurance benefits. Some statistics about the company. Now listen, on this slide, guys, I built one that's a little bit newer than this myself, and well, this looks good, but it's got 2013. Like, we can't have that on there. So I've got an updated slide. Just email me and I can forward it to you. So make note of that. Here's a great thing. This gives them a lot of confidence in us. Ranked highly among the competition for value and service. Aflac is ranked #1 for overall satisfaction, #1 for claims, obviously, and overall value of products and services. Aflac is #1 in the country. Like, this is huge. FSA administration, that's a big deal right now, guys. And if you don't know, we do FSA administration. Make sure that you look under FSA in Field Force Services, because right now we can do the debit cards that have the Aflac duck on it and everything, where people can use their FSA benefits and have a debit card ready to go. I mean, that's huge for a lot of large groups. Group coverage, things like that. So obviously, you don't want to use all these slides. You want to make sure you're picking out the slides that match the employer you're marketing to. All right. So make sure training and resources. You can't break anything on here, so make sure you're going through and just opening some of these things. Like Preston was talking about the competitive playbook. I think it was Preston was talking about this. If you don't have a copy of it, it's right here. So if you're going up against Colonial, or you're going up against Allstate or something like that, this little document that's pulling up right now, actually it's kind of big. You could pick out a competitor out here and talk about it. So if they say, hey, we already have Colonial, okay, that's great. Colonial's a good company, right? Now, we don't want to trash them, right? But you should know these specific statistics. So critical care and protection plan offers increased benefits amounts for covered dependent children. That's what Aflac does. Your competitor pays dependent coverage at 25% on the face amount. Cancer care offers wellness benefits and initial diagnosis benefits as a part of a benefits enriched plan. And then, now here's the thing, Aflac offers cancer coverage to children for free. That $100 wellness on the Premier plan also the kids are included on that. If the kid gets a chest x-ray, guess what? Aflac pays that $100 out for that child to get that chest x-ray, because childhood cancer is real. It's not something to play around with. So we want kids to get checked out too. And it says here, wellness and additional benefits must be purchased in separate riders, and it's included in our plan. And we cover kids for free. So, I mean, there's things in here that you should know about. Now, when I'm up against the competition, I never trash them. I say Colonial's the best Colonial is a great company. We are the best company. And that's why I'm with Aflac. Okay, if Colonial was better, I'd be working for them. But here's the reason why I'm with Aflac. We pay in one day. Call your Colonial agent and ask them how we pay if they pay in one day. They'll say they do, but it requires a fee. We don't charge a fee. You get paid in one day because you're our customer. How about that? So I feel good about working for Aflac, because I know I work for the most ethical insurance company on the planet. So without trashing Colonial, I tell them I work for the most ethical insurance company on the planet, which just elevates everything I'm talking about, right? Never trash the competition. Always say, hey, it's a good company, but this is the reason why I work with Aflac. But you should know these specific things about your competitors in the field. All right, now we're going to dig. Okay, now we're going to have some fun. So I want to stand up for this. This is good stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get my goatee out of there. All right, so share screen. I hope you guys can see this screen. Now, first, let me show you where to find this information, because it's no good unless you can find it, right? Again, no more assuming, because when my boss showed me that report and I didn't know about it, and I've been with Aflac for 8 years, I'll be honest with you, I was embarrassed. But Scott said, no, man, that's my fault. I should be showing you that stuff. So, God, the internet's just being slow. Come on, man. I'm recording right now. All right, so I'm gonna go right into this, and then I'll circle back and pull it up, because I want to show it to you. So the employee overview. This is the Aflac Workforces Report. So you can just type in workforce report, and just type in workforce in the search box. It'll take you right to this on aflac.com. But this is really a professional piece that Aflac produces for you. I believe you can even order it on web ordering, but usually it's just when they produce it, so then they run out of copies, and then they're going to produce the 2017 Workforce Report, okay? So they update it every year. So some of the things that are in here that were really cool, and this is the employee version, okay? So, but I think that there's a lot in here for employers. So, portrait of the U.S. workforce. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but where I caught a big clarity factor, or it opened up my mind, was Generation Z. Okay, nearly half of employees. So Generation Z entered the workforce. Nearly half of all employees, 47%, almost half, are likely to look for a new job in the next 12 months. Do you know what that? So you gotta extrapolate. Did I just use a college word? Okay, somebody call my boss. All right, but listen, you got to extrapolate this information and take it and go, how do I use this to benefit the employer? What is the HR department going through that I could impact in a positive way based on this information? Well, it costs money to train people. It costs today an average of $5,500. It went up, so $5,500 to retrain a new employee at a U.S. job. So that means that if half of the people are likely to look for a new job, that's an expense, a controllable, that we could cap. Why? We're going to get down to it a little further. Are you likely to look for a new job in the next 12 months? Here's the breakdown. So if I'm looking at Generation Z, so think about the population. When I sit down with the employer, I'm asking, tell me about the average age of your employees. Why do I ask that? Because Generation Z is 18 to 24, millennials are 25 to 36, and those people are most likely, 71%, are likely to look for a new job. So that is crazy. So if they've got a lot of younger people, you need to attack this, right? Generation X, 37 to 51, this is crazy. Almost half of them are going to go look for a new job. Like, that is, to me, that's insane. Wild stuff. Okay. So then I want to look for some other information as well. Now this was good, but why are they looking for a new job? Benefits. Look at this. They put off a major medical procedure longer than they should. Generation Z and millennials are likely to say they have done the following in the last 12 months. Avoided going to the doctor, being distracted at work by a personal issue. This is a big one. What could that personal issue be? Well, they broke up with their boyfriend, broke up with their girlfriend. Those things happen a lot. But what about identity theft protection? That's a personal issue that impacts productivity at the workplace, right? So if they ever bring something like that up, or you bring it up, make sure you bring this statistic up with it. Nearly 3 in 5, 59% say they wouldn't be able to adjust to the large financial costs associated with a serious injury or illness. Do you know today there's companies advertising on SiriusXM saying, hey, you can cash in your life insurance because 50% of bankruptcies are due to medical costs. So they're advertising that somebody has a $100,000 life insurance policy, you can cash that in and you can get a portion of that money to you so you can pay those out-of-pocket expenses and you can survive. Like, why are we waiting until they are on their, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but in a major medical issue to sell a life insurance policy when we can come in for $7, $10 a week and provide coverage that will prevent this from happening? A full 65% of employees today have less than $1,000 in their bank account to pay for out-of-pocket expenses associated with a serious medical or accident condition. That is insane. This is why we're here, guys. It also breaks it down into region. You can see the West seems to be a lower region, but that also encompasses Texas, Utah, Colorado, places like that. This is a big, employees want more money and benefits. God. Yeah, Deb, you did get a raise, all right, right? No, not today. I already gave you. She's going, see, this statistic is right. People want more money, all right? So thanks for playing along, Deb. I was just teasing you. So 60% of employees are likely to take a job with lower pay but better benefits. 60% of employees are likely to take a job with lower pay or better benefits. So let's go a little bit higher. Let's go back a little bit. Nearly half of employees are likely to look for a new job. Why? Let's take this information, extrapolate it, put it into a conversation model that says the reason why people are looking for a new job is because they want more money. Now, the problem is the business doesn't have more money, right? They're getting racked with increased expenses themselves. Higher wages, higher minimum wage, it just went up. That's a forced, non-controllable, that business now has to figure out how they're going to recoup some more money to pay for that out-of-pocket expense for the business. Well, employees still want more money and benefits, so we can't touch the money part. And here's what I do with business owners. I say, listen, it'd be nice to give everybody a raise, right? But you probably can't afford to. Most businesses are having a hard time right now. But here's something you can do. You could offer benefits. Look at that. Number 2, across the board, from 18 to 71 plus, say that improve my benefits package. The employees are screaming for them to get better benefits right now. 39, 43, 44, 41, 18 on the low end because they're getting ready to go into Medicare, okay? The other thing, I mean, 16% have left a job or turned down a job in the last 12 months due to benefits offerings. So are you now listen, remember EDGE, maintaining competitiveness, employee morale. It's hitting it right on the nail on the head, man, when it's talking about these specific statistics. Here's another huge one, right? Benefits may boost employee satisfaction and keep them healthier. 1/3 of employees, 33%, say they're only somewhat satisfied with their benefits. Insane. So here's the gaps. So I want to show you, and I did these little things here, but employees expect more from their benefits package. So major medical, and here, the blue is what the employer's opinion is. The orange is what the employee's expectation is of the employer. So what we want to concentrate on is the gaps. So major medical, that's not us. I mean, you know, but still, it is a concern, and you want to have a conversation around it. But 401k, big look. The employer's at 60%, the employee's at 75%. But look what happens with dental. Are you Everwell certified? If you're not, this is not built in that conversation. Why? Because Delta Dental is one of our partners, and you could go in and not only represent Aflac, but Delta Dental, VSP Vision, Transamerica Life Insurance, if you're level two certified. So dental, okay, Delta Dental, 38%, employer's opinion, which of the following benefits does your company consider essential? Dental's at 38%, and 75% of her or his employees feel that is a basic benefit. Vision, 32%, 68%. I'm going to tell you, 68% of people don't wear glasses. It's roughly about 52 or 54 last I checked. So even people that don't wear glasses are saying you should offer vision coverage. It's unbelievable. Life insurance, guys, if you're not life licensed, that's a problem too. You got to get life licensed. I'm willing to pay for your study, okay, anytime you need it. But don't wait for it to happen. Study and pass your life exam. Disability, 31% to over half of the employees say that they need it. Voluntary benefits, and I want to hone in on this one. Why is it that they don't, that this statistic right here, whoop, that's nice, I can delete that, I love Mac. Why is this here? Why is this going on? I'm going to tell you. People don't know what voluntary is yet because you haven't been there to educate them. When we say what the heck's voluntary insurance, I don't know. I know what disability is. That's a voluntary benefit. I know what vision is. That's a voluntary benefit. Life insurance is voluntary. Dental is voluntary, right? So the reason why this number is so low on both ends of the spectrum is because we haven't educated them on the need of having voluntary benefits. Am I going too long on this, or is this good?
No, this is excellent.
Okay. So I'll make sure I'm not. Okay, so here's another big one. Employees offered and enrolled in voluntary benefits are more likely to be prepared to pay out-of-pocket expenses not covered by major medical. Here's a big opportunity for us. 51% feel that they're prepared, okay? Number 2, satisfied with their jobs when offered employee benefit, and then satisfied with their benefits, 75%. So over half, you just flipped all those statistics around the minute that you start offering voluntary benefits. Now, you start going over to this end of the spectrum. What do businesses look like when they don't offer voluntary benefits? Only 21% feel that they're prepared to pay out-of-pocket expenses, and I'm going to tell you where that 21%, when polled, lie. They didn't use their insurance last year. That's the 21% of people that didn't even use it last year. I'm just telling you. That's why they feel they're prepared, because they haven't used it. 57% are satisfied with their jobs versus 78% enrolled in voluntary benefits. 46 versus 75%. And that is just insane. What you can do and the impact you make with employers today. Okay, wellness programs, we're going to flip through that a little bit. So that's the employee overview. I went through it a little quickly, but I want you to make sure you take the time to look through that yourself. Now here's the employer one that you can also download. Okay, now look, first of all, if I had something that looked like that, I guarantee you, if I was Romero, I'm going to spend for you on Monday. Listen, now, and make sure you're turning.
I'm faxing you the 2 weeks today after I get done with my rounds.
Good deal. All right, well, look for that, and I'll spend for you twice there, man. I appreciate it. So if I was Romero out in the White Mountains and I could download something like this, I would go attack every construction company out there, every excavation company, every rock hauler. Now, it sounds funny because this works for all industries, but this gives me a marketing ploy like that. I look at every opportunity, every picture, every image, everything Aflac sends out. How could I take this and use it as a tool in the field? Okay, so employer overview, some statistics that might be very important to you. So benefit decision maker outlook, employer report says that, and employer reports sales and revenue growth, but continue to make changes to their benefits packages, saying they're to stay competitive in a rapidly changing benefits environment. So what did the employers mention as a top business objective? Staying competitive in the marketplace. 34%, this is the #1 polled statistic, is their concern is, how do I stay competitive in the marketplace? How do you stay competitive in the marketplace? One thing is employee retention. If you have more skilled and seasoned workers and they know what they're doing and they know your customers by their first name, guess what? You'll have an increase in sales because of that local presence, that local feel, and the knowledge that your employees have from working there year over year. That's how we can impact you being competitive. Also, attracting great talent. Okay, so I use this one statistic to say, hey, listen, if your concern is staying competitive in the marketplace, wouldn't you want to attract the best talent? And the employer goes, of course. Well, how you do that is by offering a platinum benefit program. But you need to look at how we can do this without adding additional costs to your benefits program. And here's how I can show you we can do that, right? Finding the right amount and level of talent to achieve our business goals. Wouldn't you think that those two things are actually combined, right? To stay competitive, you got to have the right talent. Controlling costs. So we're not here to add costs. We're here to actually help you reduce costs. We do that through the Section 125, the pre-tax documents. Are you paying for your Section 125? What's the Section 125? Never heard of it before. It allows you to pre-tax your benefits. So you save the 7.65% that your employees spend on benefits, and then the employee also saves that 7.65% because it's taken out pre-tax. For every $500,000 in payroll, we save the client an average of $2,500 to $3,500. Like I just took one little statistic and used it as a ploy to show the need of Aflac, right? Managing the workforce, managing the productivity of our workforce. Let me ask you a question. If your employee feels secured in their income and their paycheck, if they got sick or hurt and they couldn't work, do you think that would increase employees' morale? Or if somebody got diagnosed with cancer and Aflac paid them $30,000 because you offered this benefit, and then the other employees heard about it, do you think that would increase morale? Now, obviously, we wouldn't tell them, but you know how word spreads in the job site, right? So they're going to talk about it. You got to worry about HIPAA. 35, here's another one. Although many employers continue to offer 80-20 coverage, now, by the way, this year I've seen a big shift to 70-30 coverage, just so you know. Lower value plans are on the rise. 35% offer major medical health plans with an actuary value of 70-30 or 60-40. That's going to jump to about, until they enact this new law, that's going to jump to about 50%, just so you know, in 2017. So 29% offer a high deductible plan with an individual deductible of over $1,000. Hold on just a second, I'm going to pull something up.
Just show everybody where to find the workforces report?
I will.
Okay.
Just remind me at the end.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Okay. So pay up front or no surgery, cancer patient is told. I print this out. This is public knowledge. This was on Tucson.com. This woman, that woman right there before your eyes, her name is Jacqueline. The night before her scheduled surgery to remove a mass in her uterus, Jacqueline got a call from the hospital saying she needs $1,000 to pay before she could have the procedure. The 59-year-old Green Valley resident who was diagnosed with advanced aggressive breast cancer in 2013, so this is her second bout of cancer, this poor woman, didn't have the money to pay in full. Alone and upset, she tried reasoning with University Banner Medical Center of Tucson. She said to no avail. Here's the crime. Here's the crime. She didn't have the surgery. Okay? So what I just showed you with the $1,000 deductible goes right to this lady, and she didn't have her surgery because somebody didn't tell her that there was an Aflac plan that would have deposited $6,000 in their bank account when she got diagnosed with cancer, which would have been a $100 copay at a specialist if she has major medical. And we would deposit that money in her bank account. She could have cut a check for $1,000 instead of being called the night before her surgery when all this stuff is going through her mind, and she's scared that they might find more cancer. And people with cancer, and I know there's people on this call, so I'm trying to be very gentle about this, but listen, cancer is not gentle. Okay, cancer is aggressive. And what we've got to do is not have somebody miss out on a surgery because she didn't have $1,000. That pisses me off. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. That makes me mad. Your mission at Aflac is to make sure everybody gets educated in Aflac in your marketplace. And if they're not, we're not doing our job. This woman should never go through this, guys. We have the power. We have the, now, if she got offered it and she didn't take it, that's her deal. That's not my deal. because I at least explained it to her. I wouldn't want her to go through this. I wouldn't feel any better, but well, actually I would. I'd feel better that at least she got the power of choice. See, people are all over the map talking about choice, you know, and political stuff. Why don't we just tell people about a policy that could save their home? God, or save their life if it's this case. I'm sick and tired of people going through this. When we have tools that could protect them, man, I'm gonna tell you what, there's not a damn door that can, I don't mean to curse, there's not a door that I can't break down to help a woman like Jacqueline. I'm sorry, that is wrong. Pissed off, man. 11, and I'll tell you, the Washington people, the people in politics, they're gonna all argue for Democrat and Republican until they're blue in the face. And you and I, the American people, are caught in the middle of this. You know what? They can't fix it, so Aflac can, and you have the power to do so. Go out there and make a difference, man. Get over fear and go and help people. So you can tell why I'm with Aflac. I love this company. So here's the other thing. In this, did I go off too hard?
No.
I just know, I don't want, I just don't want people to, I just want them to know, man. I don't care if you buy it. I don't really care. I care that you know about this coverage because we can save your home. And it's not fair that people don't know that. You don't know how many interviews I do when I go and I say, who here has heard about Aflac? And nobody in the room knows about Aflac. They know the duck, but they don't know what we do. So I'm giving you the tools to get inside those businesses, and I'm not trying to go too far with it, man. So cost of benefits to the company employee, cost of benefits to the company and employees mentioned are more often than benefits administration and reporting and or penalties. So here's the biggest deal. Rising cost of benefits to our company is one of the biggest concerns. So what is the most important objective to your benefits program? Number one, taking care of my employees by offering the widest range of benefits. When polled, businesses, we did the poll, 21% saying the number one thing is taking care of my employees' benefits offerings with the widest array of benefit options. And look, 42% say, listen, rising costs of our benefits plan for our company is a big problem. So when you go into the business and you're trying to approach them to sell more insurance, that's what they hear, okay? When they see you walk in the door, they're seeing somebody that's gonna sell them more insurance, all right? That's why you've got to follow up with those same businesses so they'll actually listen to you and say, listen, we're not here to rise your costs, we're actually here to reduce your overhead. And here's why. We're going to save you money on your taxes, okay? But they're not hearing that. When they see, oh, shoot, another increase. If we offer Aflac now, we're going to have to pay more money. Only if they want to buy a plan, okay? So make sure you're showing them that. That's a big deal. Here's another one. Now, yesterday, I had a meeting. Neil set up with a broker. And I went down to Phoenix and met with this broker. And I'll do that for any one of you. If you meet a broker in passing or networking, try not to market to them. But if you run into a broker and you set up an appointment, and you got to work with Deb to get that appointment conducted, because there's certain days I do it, or certain days that I'm in your area. That would be the best time for me to meet with the broker. Okay. So over half of employers say workman's compensation claims increased within the past 3 years. Why is this? I'm going to tell you why. And I don't know that shows it in this. Nope, I don't think it does. All right. If your deductible is $5,000 on your major medical, or $3,000 or $1,000, and you don't have that $1,000, okay? Or you only have $1,000. But I'm picking up my beautiful kid on the weekend, I'm throwing her up in the air, and probably shouldn't do that either, right? And I hurt my back, and I go, shoot, if I go to the doctor, it's gonna be out of pocket. But if I go in and act like I picked something up at work on Monday morning, I don't have to pay a deductible, and I can go see the doctor. And if they like pain pills, they're probably going to get a couple pain pills and muscle relaxers, right? I'm just being real. We have a huge opioid epidemic going on. We're not going to get into that. But here's the point of it. They don't have the money to pay for their deductible, so they use the employer and his workman's compensation program because they'll get paid for time off of work. They don't have to pay a deductible to go see their urgent care. The problem is the employer now has to pay that deductible. He has a deductible on his workman's compensation, or she. And so when she pays that workman's compensation deductible, guess what happens? That's money out of the pocket for the business, hitting their bottom line directly. Then it increases their mod rate. Their mod rate is their experience rating on their workman's comp. And there are situations like in contractors where if that mod rate goes too high, guess what happens? They lose the opportunity to bid for a specific job because the workman's comp mod rate is too high. So the business gets affected in multiple perspectives. So I'm sitting down with this broker and I'm telling them this, listen, the employees can't afford their health insurance deductible, so they just go to the workman's compensation because at Bed Bath & Beyond where I worked, 95% of workman's compensation claims happen Monday morning. Guaranteed, the majority of that is fraud. If you offer Aflac, here's what happens. We pay cash directly to the employee, not the doctor and hospitals. We pay in one day. We have no investigation. We go off doctor's notes. They said they're hurt. The doctor affirms that, and we pay the claim. So we have no investigation, no issue. And guess what? If they have short-term disability, we pay them when they're hurt and not being able to work. So instead of them using your workman's comp insurance, have them use Aflac, and it doesn't hit your workman's comp mod rate, keeping your expenses low. The broker looked at me and goes, "What did you just say? What did you just say?" He said, "I'm serious." And he goes over at the desk at me like that, and I go, "No, I'm telling you, it puts a firewall up between your workman's comp mod rate and your employee and them being injured off the job." He goes, "Man, my father owns 40 Del Tacos. They need this now." Come on, man. I mean, and I'm talking to an insurance broker. Imagine the person that's sitting in the seat having to cut the check for the workman's comp insurance. That's the person that's getting the pain, right? So this is how I extrapolate this data. I'm going to use that word a lot now. This is how I get this data and use it so we can benefit. I don't know who that person is. I'm just curious at any rate. Now this is Cadillac. This is going to change. So I did mark through this, guys. With the new proposals and the new American Affordable Care Act, or whatever it's called now, Trump Care, the Cadillac taxes are going to go away in their implementation of the new plan. So I know that's going away. I'm keeping a close eye on this for you guys. Wellness is a big thing for companies. So, definitely ask them about their wellness programs, because over half of employers today are using wellness programs to impact. Where it comes into big results for self-insured trusts specifically, wellness programs have a high impact, because what it does is it reduces the overall usage of the insurance, that self-insured trust, which keeps that money in the pool so that they're not running out of money when a cancer claim comes in or something like that. So it's something to be aware of. All right, so this portion of it, voluntary insurance is increasingly seen as an essential benefit or an essential insurance, all right? So what's really cool is they talk about the comparison to the employees that are offered voluntary benefits, the ones that are not. So employees 78% are extremely satisfied or very satisfied with their jobs, compared to those 57% that are not, because they're not offered voluntary benefits. Extremely are very satisfied with their overall benefits package, 75%, compared to those who aren't offered voluntary benefits insurance by their employers, 46. 51, I think this is different categories of people and age brackets. So how would you rate the decline in your workman's compensation claims since offering voluntary accident insurance to the workforce? So these two things go hand in hand. 75%. Very significant reduction. So it's not theory that I told you, it is fact, and this proves it. 75% plus out of this poll, the vast majority. So it says 34% here, but 75% plus, I'm not sure. So private exchanges and third-party outsourcing ease the benefits of administration burden. Here's the thing. People are looking for an easier way to do employee benefits. So the problem is for most bigger, larger employers is that they have a 401k person that comes in, they have a Blue Cross and Blue Shield person that comes in, they have their Aflac person come in, they have their pet insurance person that comes in, they have Legal Shield that comes, oh dear God. And so by the time you just get through explaining that, human resource is looking like me, where they're starting to pull out all their hair. Now, what if we could put the majority of those benefits onto one platform and have licensed associates, licensed people with the state of Arizona, sit down, educate your employees. 68%, I'm going to give you a vital statistic I don't think is on here. 68% of employees today say they want to be communicated benefits by an insurance professional, not by human resources. I'm going to tell you why. Because human resources is skilled at human resources. Licensed insurance professionals are skilled at benefits. So we could study a benefit summary and be able to explain their health insurance plans to them, as well as their voluntary benefits plans, as well as 401k if need be. Now, you can't necessarily sign them up for that because you're not licensed for it, but you can educate them and they can sign up with HR or through that system if it's authorized, okay? So look at the other thing that I want to just really hone in on this. There is a day, and I think that day is now, where you're not going to be selling voluntary benefits the same way that we have done in the past. You're going to sell it through providing solutions and resources for businesses. What's in it for them? If you're going around and saying, hey, we have Everwell that can help make your job easier, human resources, I'm telling you right now, that is what they're looking for. They're looking to reduce that workload. The average employer has a week and a half worth of work sitting on their desk. They don't want to be added more work to them. They don't want to add more workload. So why don't we reduce the workload by encompassing all your benefits into a platform that we can enroll all their benefits with them, and you don't have to worry about that stack of applications. We'll take care of all that for you. And for groups over 100, we can not only do that, but we can also pay the vendors. So as we enroll them in Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we can, Aflac and Maestro can actually pay Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Aetna, United, Aflac Group, and any other benefits that are being offered there. I'm not sure about 401k yet, but that's coming soon. Why wouldn't we reduce that? So they're complaining about writing out checks. Let's just make it one check. And then Maestro takes care of everything else. And Maestro is a platform-based provider for groups over 100 lives. All right? So I wanted to cover this information with you just so you could get some, I hope it was, I just hope I didn't go too far with cancer. I just don't want anybody not knowing about our cancer plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up and show you how to get this information. I just don't want somebody like Jacqueline going through that again, man. So you go to training and resources, and then right here, the top thing under business insights is the Aflac Workforces Report. You just click on that, and then what you can do is you have a summary, executive summary, the employee overview, and the employer overview. Also, there's fact sheets, articles that you can use to elevate, infographics that are great, calculators, so you can calculate the cost of employee turnover. Like, look at this. It takes you right to this little reference page that you can just tap on, top 10 employer findings. All right, and this is actually, I'm sorry, this is out of the 2017 one. This is new. So 58% of employees are at least somewhat likely to take a job with 50, it jumped. It was 38%, man. So this is a huge deal. So 58% are willing to take a job with lower pay but better benefits. Way over half, right? I could go through all these statistics, but 81% of workers see a growing need for voluntary benefits insurance. Well, that statistic I showed you earlier, that changed quite a bit. Now knowledge is out there and the appetite for our products are higher than ever before. See, you notice where I take that number and I can figure out and use it to have a conversation? Think like that. How do I take the info and use it, right? Think outside the box. Use your mind. You got good ones. If I brought you on board especially. And those who I didn't, you guys have good minds too. You would be here. We got great people at Aflac.
The calculator's pretty cool.
Yeah, the calculator's good for, which one's that up here?
That one's on the calculator. Right there.
Okay, so
Turnover calculator.
turnover calculator. Let's see if the statistic. How many employees do you have? So how many?
We'll say 60.
60 employees. Okay. Assuming that 31% will look for a job, so that's low, and that's low balling it. Assume it costs 20% of the worker's salary to recruit, replace, and train a new employee. The cost of that turnover is $179,000. I'm sorry, but that is awesome, man. And I'm not saying that's a good, we want to prevent that from happening, but that is huge. I mean, think about that. So I'm glad you said something. That's awesome. So now you know where to find it, go and use it. But here's the biggest thing. If you don't use this information within the next 72 hours, it's lost. So I'm going to ask you guys to go out in the field today, take one of these statistics I showed you and share it with an employer. If you at least start using it, guys, you can start building your toolbox up so you can go out there and help these people and prevent Jacqueline from having to go and not get a daggum surgery for her cancer. That makes me so mad. But we're on a mission, guys, and that's the point. If your mission is to help people, you're in the right position. Okay? There's something that my father taught me. He said, son, he goes, listen, if you could chase money and you'll chase money all your life, and it's very unrewarding, okay? Because that's what you'll do. You'll chase money. But if you can find a mission, if you can find a way to help people and make money doing it at the same time, now you've got something. But focus on the mission and not the money. If you focus on the mission, the money always follows. My dad taught me that. He said people are the most important thing in life. You got to go out there and you got to help people, okay? So the success comes after the equal sign. Income comes after the equal sign. It's not in the equation. It's a result. It's always a result. It's mission plus action. So what are you going to do today to activate this information to make it result in an income equation for you? It's by helping people. Go out today and help more people than you ever had before. Go through those doors. Man, you save people's homes. Walk in there like you save people's homes. Don't walk in there and wonder what they're going to say. Go in there with the thought process and the heart of I'm here to help your people. And if they're willing to sit down with you, all you're doing is working out the details. To me, when I sit down with the employer, it's already done. Now all we got to do is figure out how. So guys, go out there and make the most of this. Your success depends on the second letter of success, and that's you. You are in charge of your future. Don't, listen, the secret to Aflac is two things: 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and stick with it. That's what Dan Amos says. If you do that, you'll be successful. That's why I'm successful at Aflac. That's why Jack Fry's successful, Marcus Averett, Ron Day, Preston Davis, Brendan Fox, all these great people. I'm telling you, the way you do it is to focus on helping them out. Guys, have a great day. I hope this was worth it for you. Send me emails if I went too big on something, or if I carried on something too long. Let me know. I want to get your feedback. But if you loved it, that's just as important. Because guys, I do this for you. Aflac doesn't ask me to do this. They don't ask Dave to do it. We do it because we care about you and we want you to be successful. Dave, are you on the call? If he's not, he's missing a big opportunity. Well, guys, it's Power Weeks. Have a great day. Thanks for being on the call.